Okay, hi everyone. So yeah, obviously I'm not here today, uh, but that doesn't mean we still can't have a lesson. Okay, so your supply teachers can play the video. You should all have the note. So just follow along, fill in the answers like we do normally, and if you ever need to stop it, just raise your hand. Ask a supply teacher to stop. I'm sure they're a very nice person. They'll be willing to stop and pause the video for you so that you can get caught up, and then we'll keep playing. Okay. So it shouldn't take the whole period. So you should have plenty of time to do some practice problems afterwards. Okay, and then plenty of time to stop the video to get caught up if you need to as well. So today we're going to be doing multi-step equations. Okay, so we did a couple of these yesterday, but we're going to go kind of more in depth today. So remember, what's an equation? What does it mean to solve an equation? Okay, so it means that we're going to solve for x. Okay, so that's what solving an equation is. We're looking for x or any other variable. Okay, solve for x or any other variable. Okay, like it could be x, it could be y, it could be z, it could be m, it could be n, it could be a, b, c, d, it could be the whole alphabet. We even throw in Greek letters sometimes too. Okay, but to solve means to solve an equation means to solve for that variable so that we know what the variable is. Okay, so what are the steps? What strategy do we use? Okay, so first we want all the letters on the left. Okay, so all our letters are variables on the left side of the equation or the equal sign. And we're going to put the numbers on the right side. Okay, so all our numbers on the left on the same, and all our numbers on the right on the same side. Okay, and then we solve or isolate for x or any other variable after that. Okay, so if we have an equal sign here, we want letters on the left and numbers on the right. Okay, and that just lets us solve for x or our variable a lot easier. Okay, so I'm not saying that letters equal numbers. I'm just saying that on the left side, we're going to put all the letters. On the right side, we're going to put all the numbers. Okay, if we have numbers on the right, we're going to move them over to the left. Okay, and if we have letters on the right, we're going to move them over to the left. So let's do some examples. We're going to solve and then check each of the following. Okay, so we're going to check to make sure that our answer is right. That's like the great part of algebra. Is that we can always check to see if we have the right answer. When you do this test at the end of the unit, you can solve everything and then double check your work and know that you got perfect on it. Okay. So remember, we want to start on the outside and work our way in towards the variable. Okay. So 4 is farthest away from x, so we're going to move the 4 over first. Okay. 4 is also a number. 5x is the letter. We're going to keep it on the left. Okay. So 5x is equal to 16. And then remember, when 4 goes to the other side of the equation, it'll go from subtraction to addition. Okay. We have 5x equals 20. Okay. Now I can get rid of the 5. When I bring it over to the right side of the equation, it's multiplication on the left, so it will become division on the right. Okay. So 20 divided by 5, we should get x equals 4. Okay. So now we solve this. We're saying, okay, x equals 4. Do we know that for sure? Not 100% yet. What we're going to do is we're going to check it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up into the left side of the equation and the right side, or right side of the equation. Okay. So I'm always going to look back to my original equation. So here is the left side of the equal sign. So everything that's on the left of that equal sign, I'm going to write in here. So my left side is equal to 5x minus 4. My right side is everything on the right of the equal sign. Okay? So my right side for this first one is only 6, it's just 16. Okay? So say that my left side equals 5x plus minus 4, my right side is 16. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sub in the x value I just found. So I have 5 minus 4 still. But now I'm going to take this 4 and I'm going to sub it in for x. Since I said that x equals 4, x and 4 are the same thing. So that's why I'm going to sub in my 4. Okay? And now I'm going to multiply because that's bedmath, right? So 5 times 4 is 20 minus 4. 20 minus 4 is 16. So my left side equals 16. My right side equals 16. Therefore, left side equals right side. Okay? So when you check, you always have to make sure that your left side equals the right side. It doesn't matter what the numbers are. They just have to be the same number. I have 16 over here, and I have 16 over here. Okay? If they're not the same, that means that we did something wrong in the blue. So we'll have to go back and double check our work. Okay? But when you check, left side will always equal right side. Okay? If it doesn't, that means you made a mistake. And you just have to double check your work. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Now we have 10 minus 2y equals 6. Remember, we want to keep our letters on the left, so move over the 10. So the minus 2y is stuck to the y. We can't move it over yet. So I have 6. If it's 10 on the right, it'll become subtraction because it has a plus, right? There's no negative in front of it, so it has to be positive. So when it comes over to the right, it's going to be negative. So I'll leave this with negative 2y equals negative 4. Okay? Now I can bring over my 2. And because it's multiplication on the left, it'll become division on the right. So negative 4 divided by negative 2. When you divide two negatives, they become positive, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay? And now we're saying y equals 2. Let's check. My left side is equal to 10 minus 2y. My right side is just equal to 6. Okay, so what I want to do, remember, I'm going to sub in y. I said it was 2. So y, instead of y, I write 2. Okay, and now this should equal my right side, which is 6. Okay, so we do multiplication first. 2 times 2 is 4. 10 minus 6, or sorry, 10 minus 4 is 6. So my left side is 6, my right side is 6. Therefore, left side of the equation equals right side. Okay? So we got the same thing for our left and the right. 6 is equal to 6. Everything checks out. Now we have a little bit more. It's a little bit more complicated. Okay, so I have numbers and letters on both sides of the equation. Remember, I want all my letters on the left, so I'm going to take my x and move it to the left. I want all my numbers on the right, so 20 I'm going to bring to the right. Okay, so I still have 4x and I still have 5 on the right, but now my x is plus. I'm adding x on the left, or sorry, on the right. That means I'll subtract x on the left. I'm adding 20 on the right. That means I'm subtracting 20 on the, or I'm adding 20 on the left, so I'm subtracting 20 on the right. Okay? And now we have all our letters together, all our numbers together. We can simplify a little bit. 4x minus 1 more x. That'll leave us with 3 x's altogether. And 5 minus 20 is negative 15. Now I can bring my 3 over. So I have negative 15 divided by 3. So x equals negative 5. Now, when I do my check, I'm going to have to do some solving for the left side and the right side of this one. Because my left side is equal to 4x plus 20. And my right side is equal to 5 plus x. Okay? So I'll have to sub in x into both of them. Okay? So my left side is 4. And we said x is negative 5, so I have 4 times negative 5 plus 20. And my right side will be 5 plus negative 5. Okay, so 5 times negative 4, positive times a negative will always be negative. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 20. So my left side will be negative 20 plus 20, which is 0. My right side, I have 5 plus a negative 5, which is also 0. So they both equal 0, therefore my left side equals my right side. Okay? And I know with absolute certainty that x equals negative 5. Another one. Oh, that is a letter here. Put it in. Okay. So I want letters on the left and a number. So I get that number over to the right. I don't want it on the left. I only want letters on the left. So now 3a minus 2a equals 4 minus 8 plus 6 will become minus 6 on the right. Okay, now I have letters on the left, numbers on the right, I can solve. 3a's minus 2a's, so if I have a, another a, another a, so I have 3a's, I get rid of these two, they go bye-bye, I'm just left with 1a. So just have a by itself, because remember, same thing as 1a, but you don't need to put the 1 there. It's assumed that 1 is there. Okay, 4 minus 8 minus 6 will give us negative 10. And look at that. We isolated a, and a equals negative 10. Okay, so sometimes it just works out nicely like that. And you don't have to do any exercise. So, left side for our check. 3a plus 6 plus 2a. That's going to be equal to 3 plus 6 plus 2 times a. And I'll fill in, it said a is negative 10. Let's fill in negative 10 here. Okay, so 3 times negative 10 would be negative 30 plus 6. 2 times negative 10 would be minus 20. Okay, add that all together, we should get negative 44 for our left side. Why? Oh, made a mistake. Sorry, let's just go back. See, that's another way I knew that I wasn't doing it right, because my left side was going to equal my right side. It was negative 2. Negative 2a. So I have minus 2 times negative 10. Now I have a negative times a negative. That will be positive. And 2 times 10 is 20. So negative 30 plus 6 plus 2 gives us negative 4. Now my right side is a lot more straightforward. It's 4 minus 8, which is negative 4. Okay? And once again, my left side equals my right side. Okay, so sometimes the error might be within your check. Like I just did right there, I had a plus instead of a minus. So don't worry if you're not right away. Just double check that you wrote out the proper sides for the left and right side of the equation. And then try again. Okay? So those are all our multi-steps. Now let's try some with brackets. How do we solve equations with brackets? First, we want to eliminate brackets by using this distributive property. Remember, that's going to be, say if we have a 2x minus 2, we multiply the 2 times the x and the 2 times the negative 2. Okay? Once we do that, move all the letters to one side of the equation and the numbers on the other side by opposite operations. Okay? So it doesn't necessarily have to be left or right here. It could be either side, whichever you find more convenient. Okay? They're both equal on either side of the equation. Doesn't matter which way we write it. The last step will be to isolate the variable. Okay? So we're going to solve and check this first one here, then we're just going to solve. So 3 times x plus 2 equals 21. So my first step is distribute. So 3x plus 6 equals 21. Now I'm going to move the 6 over here because I want my numbers on the right since my letters are already on the left. And 21 minus 6. Remember, it's the opposite operation now. That gives us 3x equals 15. Now I can bring over the 3, and I get left with 15 divided by 3. So x is equal to 5. Okay. Now, let's check. 3x plus 2 is my left side. So 3 times 5 plus 2. So remember, I'm going to do brackets first here, right? So 3, 5 plus 2 is 7, which is equal to 21. So my left side equals 21. My right side, well, that also equals 21. Therefore, my left side equals my right side. So I know with absolute certainty that x equals 5. Rather than start, I'm going to go 100% sure. Okay? Now for the next ones that we solve, I'm not going to check them. If you want to, you can always double check your work, just to know with absolute certainty that you're right. But here, we are just going to solve the following. Okay? So we have negative 3 times n plus 2 is equal to negative 6n minus 1. So I'm going to go distribute my 3 and distribute my negative 6. So negative 3n, negative 3 times positive 2, positive times negative will be negative 6, and I'll have negative 6n. Negative times negative is a positive 6. Now, I'm going to move my letters to the left and my numbers to the right. Okay, and it's going to change the sign on them. So negative 3n, but now I get plus 6n is equal to, I still have my plus 6 over here, and when this comes over, it also is a plus 6. Okay? So now I have all my letters on the left, all my numbers on the right. I can simplify a little bit. Okay, so this would give me 3n is equal to 12. If I divide both of these by 3 or bring over the 3, I'll have n equals 12 divided by 3, which is equal to 4. Okay, so n is equal to 4. If you wanted to check and sub in, you're more than welcome to. You should get both sides equaling the same number. Okay, which would be negative 18. Off the top of my head. Try to erase this time. Yep, there we go. All right. Now we are doing 7 times 3y minus 5 times y minus 1 equals 0. So I actually have nothing on the right? So I can move over numbers or letters, it's my choice. I'm probably going to do the numbers just because I like my letters on the left. So let's distribute. 7 times 3 is 21 plus, it would be 7y, negative 5 times y minus 5y, negative 5 times negative 1 become plus 5 equals 0. Okay? Now I'm going to move over my 5 and my 21, but the y's are going to stay on this side. Okay? We'll still have 7y minus 5y is equal to, I'm going to leave the 0 here for right now, 0. The 21 is positive over here, so it'll become negative, minus 21. And the 5 also becomes negative. Now, I can simplify. 2y is equal to negative 26. Bring my 2 over, it'll become 26 divided by 2. So my y is going to be equal to negative 13. Okay? I am going a little bit fast here. I kind of recognize that. So please, if you need to stop or even go back, just let the teacher know. They'll pause it for you. They'll go back to the time that you missed. I know I'm going a little bit fast here, but that's just because I can't see how everyone's looking at me, whether you're kind of not along in understanding or whether just give me like a wide-eyed look. Okay? But any questions you have, we can take up on Thursday when I'm back. Okay, now we have m is equal to 2 times 10 minus m plus 3. So again, so I should be using distribute. Distribute, so I have m equals 2 times 10 is 20 minus 2m plus 3. I take my m's and move them over to the left. So I still have m. Now the 2m goes from negative to positive because we're subtracting and we're going to add on this side. We have 20, then that m is gone, so we just have 20 plus 3. So that'll be 3m is equal to 23. Okay, now if I bring my 3 over, I have m equals 23 divided by 3. Okay? Was that divided on your calculator into a decimal? And you can't really put it down to any lower terms. So my final answer is just a fraction. It's going to be 23 divided by 3. If you get a fraction, that's okay. Remember, fractions aren't scary. Fractions are our friends. We're going to be talking more about fractions next week. Okay? So if you get a fraction as your final answer, that's fine. Reduce it to the lowest terms if you can. If you can't, like 23 is a prime number, so it's 3. Then you just leave it as is. So our final answer, 23 divided by 3. Or 23 over 3. I believe this is our last one now. Look at that. Almost done. What a short lesson. 2 times 3x minus 5 is equal to 4 times 2x plus 3 minus 10x minus 6. Distributes first. We're going to distribute all 3. Remember, if it's a negative out in front, that's the same thing as negative 1. So we're going to multiply negative 1 by those 2, which just changes the sign on both of them. Okay? So 2 times 3x would be 6x, 2 times negative 5, negative 10. 4 times 2x will be 8x. 4 times 3 plus 12. So our 10x will become negative 10x. All it's going to do is flip the signs on them, okay? So the positive 10x becomes negative 10x. Negative 6 becomes positive 6. Now I have a lot of numbers and letters everywhere, but I'm going to put all my numbers onto the left. The 8x comes over, and so is that negative 10x. This negative 10 joins this number, brethren, on the other side. So I still have 6x on this side of the equation. I will still have my 12, and I'll still have my plus 6. But now, my 8x is on the left. And it's positive on the right, so it will become negative 8x on the left. My negative 10x is going to come over as well. The x will come with it. But since it's negative on the left, it'll become positive now. Or sorry, it's negative on the right, so it becomes positive on the left. This negative 10 is going to come over and join the party on the right. But it becomes a lot more positive when it's with this number of friends because it's negative on the left. Now I can simplify all of my letters. So I have 6 x's minus 8 x's plus 10 more x's. Okay? And that is going to leave us with 8x. Then at 12 plus 6 plus 10, that will give us 28 on the right. Okay? Now, I can bring over my 8. When it comes over, it becomes division. So I have 28 divided by 8. Now, this won't divide into a perfect whole number. So what I can do is I can reduce it to lowest terms. Both of these are divisible by 4. If I divide our top and bottom by 4, we'll end up with x equals 7 divided by, or 7 over 2. Okay, so my final answer is x is 7 over 2. Okay, and that's everything for multi-step equations, okay? So again, I recognize I went a little fast there, but I just wanted to get through it. That way you can ask your teacher to pause the video, to go back if you need to, and then I'll also be here tomorrow to help take up any questions, okay? So we can go over it again tomorrow before we do the next activity. Okay, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.